My name is Anastasia, and this is my Global Citizen Concert experience and its aftermath. So Flack and I flew down to Johannesburg on Saturday morning. We had a very early flight, so it was about 6:15 in the morning. And my parents drove us to the airport and dropped us off. And my friend Dane.
Everybody, that's Dane. What's up, guys?
Pretty nice to pick us up from the airport. And he and his wife were nice enough to invite us to stay with them. So they were very hospitable and allowed us to stay over. So I had then called the hotel and we cancelled, so we didn't stay. He took us on a bit of a tour on Saturday of like really nice places in Joburg, just to kind of show us that the whole of Joburg is not what it is portrayed to be in the media and on movies and TV and things like that. So we had a pretty nice Saturday. We were already pumped for the concert the next day. So we decided we were going to take an Uber from Dane's house to the concert and then back from the concert home. We checked the time. The gates opened at 11 a.m. Not knowing Joburg, not being from Joburg, I did not know this, that there was a township literally right across the road from the stadium. Now, naturally my mind is like, you know, there are these amazing stars performing, huge celebrities, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Ed Sheeran, Usher, our president was there, Oprah. You know, these are humongous names, and so my understanding is that the security is going to be pretty tight. Before we actually got out of the car, he said that this is going to be a mess up this evening, so you might want to get your Uber down the road. So the road that we came from, again, this is the road that splits the stadium and the township. And we're like, okay, cool. So we're walking and we see this literally insanely long queue leading into the stadium. The queue didn't even start at the stadium. It wasn't an entrance to the stadium. You literally, we had to queue on a field, like next to a field that was eventually going to lead to the stadium. The length of this queue, we stood in it for probably 2.5, if not 3 hours. We stood in this queue and we eventually got inside. And I'm trying my utmost to enjoy this once in a lifetime experience, because it's not every day when something like this happens. And I was so psyched when, you know, I actually won the tickets, because it was a big deal. Like, I don't ever win anything, and these are not really tickets that you could purchase. And we spent so much money flying over to get there that I actually wanted to enjoy it, and so I tried to enjoy it. Concert's going, and you know, Ed Sheeran comes on, and he was just amazing. It was a one-man band just going to town on that stage. It was so freaking awesome. And Casper Nieuwest, who is a local artist, he performed his face off. And it was just amazing to see that kind of talent come out of our country. And then Beyonce arrived. It was so, like, I still get chills when I play back the video. It was so amazing, like just her presence on stage. I can't even describe it. It was amazing. And from the first note, she was hitting it, and she was hitting it, and she was hitting it. And she literally sounds like every song I've ever heard of hers on the radio. Like, she sounds like she's comes straight out of the studio. And just the amount of the amount of effort and the amount of talent that she embodies, the amount of like just her presence on stage is incredible. I honestly, when she came out, and from that first note, I was I actually cried there too. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I cried as well. We tried to film as much as we possibly could, but because with limited battery life and just trying to enjoy the moment and not look at it through my phone screen, I decided not to record too much of it. I wanted to be in the moment, and I wanted to enjoy and soak up every single emotion that I felt in that time. And she was nothing short of incredible and amazing and majestic, and just oh my god, it was really, I enjoyed every single moment of it. And after her performance, like I said, we decided to leave a little bit earlier as to avoid the crowd and the hordes of people coming out of the stadium. I'm on this incredible high, and just waiting in that line was worth seeing her on stage. And like I literally felt like I didn't need to go to another concert ever again in my life, because that was an entertainer. She is an entertainer. We're walking out of the stadium, and we spot a food truck. So we're like, okay, cool, we're gonna get some boerewors rolls. It's literally just sausage on a roll. We get one of those, get a cool drink, stuff our faces while we wait for our Uber, which makes sense. And we eventually follow the signs to get to this designated Uber pickup point. And I have 15% left, 15% battery life left on my phone. It's searching for an Uber. Searching and searching and searching. At this point, there's not very many people in the pickup point, because a lot of people are still, enjoying the end of the concert and taking their time to walk back. And then the app is like, sorry, we could not locate an Uber. And I'm like, seriously? And my battery's now at this point on 5% battery life. And I try it again, and my phone dies. My battery's dead, my phone dies. I'm like, Flack, do you have battery life? He's like, yes. Then what had happened was, you have to, once you get your Uber, you have to call your driver so he can tell you when he has arrived, and he needs to tell you which lane he's waiting in. Now at the pickup point, they've cordoned it off where you need to go out to get to your Uber. So it's cordoned off. There's a 20-something-year-old tiny blonde girl standing there telling you that if you don't have a lane number, if your Uber driver has not given you a lane number that he's currently parked in, you cannot leave. And so we're waiting and waiting and waiting. And you can track your vehicle to see how close he is from you or how far he is from you. And our Uber driver is not moving. 4 minutes turned into half an hour, Uber driver's not moving. Half an hour turns into an hour, Uber driver's not moving. Flack's like, you know what? We should probably just walk to him, because he's literally just down the road from us. Let's walk to him. And this time it's cold, dark, and it has now become congested with people in this pickup area. We're like, all right, so we are going to walk and go and find our Uber driver. So we walk to go find our Uber driver, and we're walking out of the parking, the designated pickup point, and we see that this traffic is literally bumper to bumper and cars are not moving at all. But we eventually get out and walk towards the Sasol garage petrol station, where we can see that our Uber is literally just down the road. So we're walking, and as we're walking, we get to the garage. We're walking through the petrol station now, through crowds of people, because a ton of people were also waiting there, because their Uber drivers who dropped them off told them, come out and we'll be able to get you here, because it'll be easier than actually going inside, because they've literally marked the Uber lanes with cones, with orange cones. They expect this to work. We are walking towards where we think our Uber driver is, and we are now walking away from the petrol station with the petrol station behind us, and all of a sudden we hear this blood-curdling scream coming from a female, and Flak instinctively grabs me, and we're looking around frantically trying to see what happened. And there's this female in between cars. Someone literally turned around and said to us that they tried to kidnap her. Just with that alone, the anxiety was back, the heart palpitations were there, the fear was there. We're like, no, we're not walking, because technically our Uber driver was in the township, because we were now walking away from the petrol station into the township, because that's how far back the traffic was going. Flak's like, no, we're not doing this. Turned around, walked back towards the petrol station. Again, we hear some screams, and as we turned around, there was hordes of people just moving towards this one guy, and like people were just trying to hold him back, and there were just screams and things, and there was just this massive crowd. You couldn't really see what happened, but there was just this massive crowd of people just moving in one direction towards this person, and obviously people started dispersing, and we were like, nope. So we carried on walking away from whatever was happening there, and we ended up just standing there not knowing what to do. My phone dead. Flak's battery is now on 7% battery life, and our Uber is still 4 minutes away. We didn't even get close to him. We didn't even get to see the vehicle. So we're standing at the edge on the corner of this petrol station, and something inside of me said, go back inside. And I said to Flak, you know what, I can't stand here anymore. I don't think we should go back inside. And immediately, this is minutes before the chaos erupted at this particular petrol station, we walked as quickly as we possibly, I think we speed walked, or we like ran, nearly ran back inside to the Uber pickup point. So we get to the pickup point, and we hear people talking about tables where you are able to go and charge your phone. I literally waited 2.5 hours to charge my phone, just to get enough battery life to be able to call an Uber and tell our friend Dane that we're okay. Eventually do, and I'm able to get us an Uber. We have to end up looking for this guy. Our Uber driver is 4 minutes away again, but luckily he had enough sense to call me and go, can you come outside? And as soon as he said that, I just started tensing up inside and said, I'm not coming outside. I'm not from here. I don't know this place. I'm going to need you to please come inside and come and get me at the Uber pickup point. That is where I'm waiting for you. He says, okay. Phones me again. Says that he can't get in. They are now at no point allowing any Uber drivers to come inside anymore. And I believed him, because there was a DJ that was playing some music at the pickup point, and he had shortly before that made an announcement asking everyone who was still waiting for an Uber to please call their drivers and tell their drivers to meet them at the Sasol petrol station where all this shit went down. That is where he's wanting people to go. And there was this uproar from people just saying, no, we are not going there, it is dangerous. And I just feel like they were like sort of like handing people to the criminals, saying, here you go, please rob them, because they're now not allowed to wait for their Uber drivers inside the pickup point. I literally just wanted to get away. At this point it's 3 a.m. I just wanted to get out there. And so I called the Uber driver, and we're just trying to find him in the traffic, because we had now walked out and we're trying to find him in the traffic. I'm on the phone with him, and he's like, I'm behind this truck, and he couldn't speak English very well. He couldn't articulate very well, so it was difficult for me to understand what he was saying. But for the most part, I could make out that he was behind a tow truck. It was in the traffic behind a tow truck, and I couldn't understand anymore. And I was like, okay. At this point, my phone again is on 5% battery life. But luckily, within 2 minutes of that phone call, he gets to us and he's able to see us, and we get in the car and we're like, dude, please drive. and he locks all the doors, and he eventually gives us a rundown of all the guys just standing by the petrol station waiting to attack people and rob them of their belongings. But luckily we were able to make it home safely and in one piece, and that was just all that mattered.
Final step before you get to go home?
I want to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep.
Same.